incorporate the wall. And you can see the kind of the green, bluish, light blue perimeter around the playscape. That's the wall that would be in there, with the idea that the major donors, as you see in the blue circle of the pamphlet, full donors, 5,000, would get a plaque out of their own to recognize their contribution, and other donors would get their names collectively put together. So, and on this list, Taylor Building Supply should be in there. So Taylor Building Supply has been working with Guido as well. They've kind of committed whatever block they have on stock at the time they would give, and then they would give costs to anything else. So we try to.
Mayor, is this the one?
Yes.
From the solar.
Yeah, the opening, so what it does is it kind of restricts flow for openings, so it's not just run into the playscape. 8-foot openings all the way around, so Guido's guys will be able to get equipment in there if necessary. There will be a grass border around. You can see the red line, that's the playscape wall. That's that little plastic wall you would see in the pictures to the right corner, upper right corner. So that little barrier that holds in the tile.
They call them the timbers. It's the border that the mulch doesn't fall out. Gives it a little edge between grass and the mulch.
And then there will be grass in between that and the wall. So the idea of the wall is a little bit of a barrier from flow in and out, but also so parents can actually just sit along the wall and watch as their kids are there.
How tall is it?
2 foot.
And that's why we want it for safety?
Safety and for just a respite area versus just benches.
They can sit on it?
Mm-hmm.
And how much is the cost?
So that's this sheet.
This sheet?
So this is where we are right now. We originally from Playscape Structures, is that right? Lance, who's doing the Playscape itself, got their people put together a price about $37,000 for total installation. So we've been working off that concept and moving forward. So we've been
just the wall would be $37,000 for
correct.
Installation of the wall.
So what I've put together numbers based on what Guido's been getting so far. I'm still at 31,000, and that's taking their installation number of 10,000 for the cultured stone or the stone facing that you see in the picture, and which is still going to be probably on the high end. So Joe Persicone is offered to donate the labor for digging the footings and pouring the footings and doing the block work in and around, as long as we have the materials. So that could be potentially about $6,000 worth of in-kind contributions.
So you're saying it would be about 31 then? Because
no, I'm only getting 31 for the spreadsheet. 31's as high as I got, just based on some of the numbers that Guido's been working with.
I'm trying to follow it. So the 37,000, that's after he donates the labor?
No, so let me backtrack that. 37 is what Playscape Structures had given us as a quote.
Right.
So Guido's been working the numbers. So 31 is what we have based on the pricing he's been working with local vendors on. And then right now we're looking at 24,000 with some of the contributions. So we're down here. So right now we have uncovered about $17,000 worth of expense.
So okay, that's what
We have,
right now.
yes, we have a commitment from Load 1 from last week for $5,000 direct contribution, from HAP of Lions Plan, $2,500, and we have commitments from Cadillac Insurance and Oakwood Hospital. We just don't know what their monetary values are at this point in time. They said that they would definitely do something.
Also the cement vendors, I'm waiting to hear back from them.
So the cement itself, Guido's been working with both of the city's vendors, the ones that do it, and would volume with us and said, what can you do this for? So they're basically both around cost. He's got one that's kind of said they're still holding out hope that maybe they'll donate the material itself for the footings. So what we want to do, and why we're bringing this forward tonight, is because we don't want to start the installation of the project or the playscape. Playscape is pretty much ready to go. Lance is ready to get them in. All the markings are there, and then turn around and dig a 42-inch footing around it after. So we'd like to get the footing in, poured. That way you don't have a hole around the playscape, as that can allow the playscape people to get their installation in. Obviously, we aren't going to move forward, as the item says, funded solely by contributions and donations. So we're going to cover the cost of this through contributions and donations.
But my question would be, Mayor, I thought that we were all very excited that we were going to be able to get this up and going for the summer. But how long could we be waiting to find out?
If we
4
can
or 5
have.
days.
Yep,
How long?
if 4 or 5 days.
And we'll know about contributions?
The wall will hold off on, make sure we got the contributions in place. I'm supposed to hear from Cadillac tomorrow.
But you don't wanna dig though.
Dig, yes, we've got that cost
So
covered.
you're gonna go ahead and dig
Yes.
it. and
With Joe donating the labor, we've got the cost of the actual cement covered with contributions
then- I thought
today.
you were saying we wouldn't do anything until after they got all the
Well,
contributions. so.
correct, now if we didn't have anything logged, it wouldn't come before you
Well, I know
asked.
we have some of it, but I thought you meant you were gonna wait till you had all of it to begin anything.
Yeah, we wanna get,
Delay it.
we wanna get the footings in, that'll allow Lance to get the playscape in, that'll be done, and then we can move forward on the wall. So,
Alright.
Mayor, the wall around the perimeter, how did you guys come up with this layout, the design, the measurements, all of that? Did you guys just take a snapshot and say, let's build around it, or?
actually Lance and the.
Worked with Lance, he brought his guy out there, they did some measurements and things, I wanna get a price from him. But he was so high, with labor, material costs, all the
Probably
markups.
outsourced all of it.
Everything was outsourced, so he laid the blueprint out, he said, let's do this, he did it,
And we stayed away from direct 90-degree corners there.
Well, my only thought is because of the way you're designing this, did you give any thought about maybe expanding it a little bit to allow for, you kind of see it in like downtown areas where they have the cutouts of the brick pavers, like the half moons, so you talk about putting park benches in there potentially, where you could, have some donors later on, like, phasing it down the road, because it wouldn't, you wouldn't have to do it right now, but if you don't allow for the room to do it, you wouldn't be able to do it right
I think because Rita was mentioning park benches, we've designed, we did this with the idea that the wall's gonna supplement park
There's
benches.
no park benches, one of the walls
That's only
is.
two.
Wow.
Right, so what I'm saying is add like half moon type brick paver patios and put a park bench on it. So if somebody's walking with a stroller, they can pull up and put a stroller there and not leave it on the grass or outside the wall.
I still think that that's very well possible. If you look, there's a big
On the
buffer
north
zone.
side, not on the blacktop, not the south side, but the
Right.
north side, there's enough clearance zone where you see that grass, you could incorporate it.
Over here?
Yeah, come back to your, back a little bit, Rick, right in
Here?
that area, yep. You
Okay.
can still be outside of the use zone of the playscape, where you wouldn't be in anybody's way.
So you can see the red circle, like there, the lighter red, those are your fall zones kind of for the playscape themselves. That's why that timber line that we was talking about is outside of that, so it's any child coming off of the apparatus would typically go that far without hitting any structure. So the wall is is outside of that structure, and then there's the buffer zone that would be some grass area and/or you could do something to that effect as well.
And the capstone and the stone wall are designed for sitting on?
Yeah, it'd be a flat.
Yeah, it'd be a flat limestone or
Limestone, yeah.
engineered cap.
So it's gonna be 8-inch block concrete wall with a veneer facing all the way around.
What lengths will they be cut in?
The caps, are you talking about the limestone
Yeah,
caps?
yeah.
You can, that varies, we can go 4 foot, 6 foot, 2 foot. I guess depending on repair purposes, we try to think outside the box.
Yeah, because
And what's the shortest distance?
You will have failure at some point in time,
Absolutely,
so.
So that left, when I talked to Joe tomorrow, I'm gonna meet with him, and I'll honestly probably bounce that off him to ask what he would recommend, because I'm sure he'd be.
And Taylor Building, so the prices that you're seeing, these are really rough estimates that we was able to pull together just talking with them and pull off Home Depot's site for a ballpark type cost estimate. And really our focus for this week is, with approval, we get the footings in and poured, and it's about $1,800 worth of material if we shoot at the price that he's getting quoted at right now.